Now, I got to re-upload this because it's supposed to have a little long, drawn out ending to it to give people, let people know it's okay. It's going to end, but it's been cutting it off.
Really? Well, that
Yeah.
was pretty cool, though. I really like that jam that you had there.
Thank you.
Like that. That was a good jam. I'm sitting here just
Thank
like,
you.
this is great.
Very
nice.
I just got from Vortex Ghost Gear. They do music boxes, and I just got a music box with that song in it. They custom made it.
Oh, nice.
They put that song in it, and they put Paranormal Brew's logo on top. So it was pretty cool. So
no, I love it. That's great.
I do get a lot of compliments on that song.
You should. Now, was that song composed just for you, or is that?
I got it off of. So there's a program called Canva where everything is free use.
I actually have the Pro. I pay for Canva.
That's Pro. What I have too. Yeah, I pay for it. And I found that song on there, and then I just kind of put the pictures and stuff together with the music. Like I found the music first, and then I did the pictures.
Nice.
Or the videos or whatever. But I'm pretty impressed with myself that I figured out how to do that. Just saying. If anybody knows technology, I'm not good.
Yeah, that's really not my thing either. I'd much prefer to pay somebody to do that stuff.
All right.
How you doing, Betsy?
Let's get into it. I know this is off topic for Paranormal Brew, but it is Gettysburg related. And Dustin also does stream on Paranormal Brew, his Gettysburg stuff, because I love everything Gettysburg. And I don't care if it's about ghosts or if it could be about pizza for all I care. And if it's about Gettysburg pizza, please.
We should definitely get into that debate at some point because, people like Tommy's pizza is the best.
I don't think it is.
I'm telling you, Clementina's pizza is the best.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm not gonna say I don't like Tommy's, but it's not the hype.
Yeah, I mean it's good pizza. I think they do a good job.
It's not like everybody's go-to,
Sure.
Anyways, this is a little off topic for Gettysburg, for Paranormal Brew, but it does pertain to Gettysburg, which anybody does in our field has been to Gettysburg, has had experiences and stuff. But with all that being said, before COVID, I stumbled across a video of this gentleman sitting in front of us right now, and he's talking about Gettysburg, and he's talking about. Because we had just all found out that they were no longer going to be doing the reenactments in Gettysburg. And as long as I can remember, and what actually brought me there my first time was the reenactments. And when I heard they were going to stop doing them, I was like, oh, my heart was actually broken, So jump ahead a little bit, and I stumble across because I'm a part of a lot of Gettysburg pages, and I have it like anytime something Gettysburg pops up, I get notified. And you were doing a live video. You're like, I'm taking over doing the Gettysburg reenactments, and I was like, oh my god, my hero.
Yeah, there was people that said that, and then there were people that were like, okay, yeah, we'll believe it when we see it.
Right. I totally had belief in you from day one.
Well, I appreciate that. I wish I could say the same for everybody else, though.
Well, you spoke with conviction, and just because, unfortunately, COVID happened. It happened, and it happened to everybody across the country, across the world. It stopped life. It changed life, and we all had to adapt to it, right? And unfortunately, it paused the reenactments,
It
and
did.
getting it started and stuff, and caused you some issues with stuff that had already started going. And I, before we came on live, I was saying how, us going to paracons and paranormal events, and helping out with them, and people that host them, an event. I mean, this is just as a big of an event in the reenactment world as the Penhurst Paracon just was.
Well, I mean, Gettysburg is, as you know, it's the mecca of the entire Civil War. I mean, it was the turning point in the war. I mean, so when it comes to anything Gettysburg, generally speaking, Gettysburg is it. It's the big, the hot tamale, man. It's the big one. And in the Civil War reenacting community, it's the same. It is the big to do.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody, like, I know that, like, I'm a part of a couple of, I see people talking about reenactments and stuff, and it's the same thing with, it's the hardest park to become a park ranger for, because everybody wants to be a park, who wants to be a park ranger. They all sign up for Gettysburg. Everybody wants to
Yeah,
go to Gettysburg.
it
It,
is.
it has that draw, in all walks of life. Everybody in the paranormal field, let's go to Gettysburg. That's on my bucket list. On my bucket list, I have to go to Gettysburg. You know, um, in all aspects of life, Gettysburg. I mean, I've seen people there from Alaska. I've seen people there from other countries, like all over the world.
Oh yeah, we have people coming to our event that are coming from Australia.
That's
Australia.
awesome.
And you think about it, there's people coming, they're driving here from Wyoming, and hey Mark, they're driving here from Washington and Texas,
Australia.
coming from but Australia. I spoke to a couple of German folks today. Guys are coming from Germany. So I mean, really, Gettysburg,
That's awesome.
it's a national event that we're hosting, but it's really a global thing. It's a global thing. This event has touched people globally. And that is really, really, really awesome. And it's humbling too, to hey Tom, it's good to see you, brother. um it's humbling because you're like, wow, I mean, did I really put this whole thing, like, I really did this? And because you trust me, you doubt yourself going through a process like this. You're like, I mean, wow. When you think about the logistics that go into something of this magnitude, you're like excited because you love Gettysburg, and you're like, yes, I'm doing that. And I've been a reenactor since I was 14 years old. So when the GAC, the old Gettysburg Anniversary Committee, announced that they were no longer hosting the event, I was like, oh, this is my opportunity. I've gone to these events for years. Many times I'm like, I would love to see this different. I would love to see that different. If this was mine, I would. Now look, I don't want to take anything away from George. Like, George Lomas ran an excellent Civil War reenactment when
Oh my
he
God, it was
had it.
amazing. The 150th was insane. I loved it.
Yeah.
The 150th was so awesome. It was
You know
done.
what? Excuse me. Did you see the 135th? Hey Terry, did you see the 135th or the 145th? Terry, you were. I know you were at one of these. There was like
He said
15.
that there's guys coming from England.
Yes, there's dude. We have like 20 people coming from England, but there was like 15,000 Confederates that were coming across the field. That's almost actual size. So to see 50, I was there, and seeing 15,000 Confederates come across the field was like, oh my God. Now okay, it was the 135th. So I put in, okay, if it was real, like actual bullets and artillery flying. Oh my God. I mean, I can't even imagine.
I
So
can't.
that's what gets me about Gettysburg, because like when you go there, and this, of all people, this, you go there and you're like, this feels like home. As soon as you get there, there's like a calming feeling. There's
1,000%.
for as like as much death and carnage that took place there, that place for some reason it just has that sense. And I'm there more than the average person, except for those who live there. I mean, I travel there.
More than the average person.
Yeah, I travel there every single weekend, obviously, for what I'm doing. And every single time I set foot on that field, or even just the landowners that we're dealing with, these folks are amazing. It's like coming home every single time. And you get that.
I do. I mean, I've been there by myself for 10 days, and the longer I stay, the harder it is to leave. Like I literally cry when I leave Gettysburg. I cry. It's the saddest. Like I hate it.
Yeah.
I love going and I hate leaving.
Same here. And I'm there all the time. So I completely understand. Now I don't cry. Um,
Well,
I don't cry.
you're closer than I am.
Yeah.
You know,
50 minutes is not that bad.
no.
You
And
have like
and
a, but
actually 2.5 hours isn't that bad either. But
no,
I
it's
wish
not
I
too
was
bad.
closer because there's days where I just want to go walk through the park.
Just pop on over and
Yeah, and
stroll.
just yeah, be able just to walk through the park, or
Hmm.
just because it really is a recharging zone for me. It's like it really truly is like it's a vacation for me, and people don't realize like it's my home. That's what it feels like. Like I'm home.
Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, your interest in the paranormal. And I love you. I've always loved your approach to it. You don't buy into the BS and you don't, I love that. And you took, and you know me, I'm a big skeptic, regardless of things I may have or may not have experienced. I the one photograph that you took from the railroad cut bridge is probably the most convincing photograph I've ever seen in the paranormal world ever.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that to blow smoke up your can.
No, no,
I
no.
mean, you know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know. I had the picture being looked at for a year before I got back. You know, two confirmations that they were we're never 100%, but
Hmm.
you got to but 95% sure it was an apparition photo. And with that I'm comfortable putting it out there as such. So
I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, that was the most convincing full body apparition that I've ever seen. Hey, mom, it's good to see you on the
hi
old
mom,
Paranormal Brew. It's my mother.
you
Um,
have raised a very good man.
oh, you're too sweet. She knows that though.
My daughter Amber wants to live, so do I have the coordinates tattooed on my arm.
There's literally a club. You can join it. That is awesome that you did that. That is so awesome. I'm trying to figure out my own Gettysburg tattoo. I want it to be original. It's got to be something. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
I wanted to try to like, well, I got a brick there too.
Who the guy? Mom, she can see that, so you can ask her.
Wait, ask her who the guy was that saw the soldiers standing in the field and got it on video. Oh, that's Brad Kling. I think that's what
Okay.
she's talking about.
Now, Mom, are you talking about the ones that showed the bodies moving through the artillery? It was like that because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that was proven to be a fake video. I could be wrong.
Not Brad Kling's video.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I'd have to see it.
Brad Kling's video was VHS. It was like from like when they had camcorders,
Oh,
like and
hmm,
it's a full regiment walking, and they're walking in the Pickett's Charge field, like away from where the Lee Monument would be, and
mm,
It's a Union regiment, and there's battle flags and everything, and
really?
yeah, and they're there 1 minute, and he said he pans away to go like this, and then comes back, and they're gone.
And now I trust your judgment on this, and you believe it.
Yeah,
You think it's authentic?
there's two videos out of Gettysburg that I think are real. Brad Kling's, and if I'm wrong, one day it comes out. It's I'm gonna say, well, that
Yeah, I
was
was wrong. Whatever.
I okay, I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
I believe it. That's one of them, and then the other one is the home video that the family shot, where they're the white. You can see them going in and out of the tree line, and then you can see it forming, and it goes up, and they're kind of white and wispy, and
Yeah.
you can make it out. Um, the family took that. Um, I've seen something like that, so I believe it because I saw that in real
Okay.
life there in Gettysburg.
In Gettysburg.
Yes, not. I don't believe it was the same spot, but I have seen that,
Hmm.
and I don't see a lot of things. So,
And
um,
you're looking for it,
and I'm looking for it.
right?
Um, hold on a second. Let me see here. Hi, Deb. I saw John was on too. You're the only one I know that tattooed the coordinates of Gettysburg.
No, there's another. I know another person. There's two people. You and another person I know.
Grounded Paranormal is already getting ready to do many investigations all week that we will be there. That's awesome. They're a really good group. They come out every year for the bash, and they do a lot of investigating. They love Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm.
They were standing in the field. I saw the video on her yeah.
So
Yeah,
you posted. So that's Brad's.
Brad. Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
so
There you go.
we captured Ken. Now that's really cool. I've captured um uh the snare drum. Like the
Yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
oh, I get chills thinking about it.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I did okay. Preface this by saying that I've been on the Gettysburg battlefield probably more than the average folk. I mean, I'm out there more than most, and I've personally never had a an experience on the battlefield. However, I did hear the drum one time myself, and it was in the slaughter pen there, between Little Round Top and Devil's Den, and it sounded like it was going up Big Round Top. So I mean, could that have come from? I mean, I could have heard an echo from another campground. I could, you know, artillery ridges on the other side. So I ration things out. I mean, I think that maybe I heard something that was unexplainable. Maybe I just heard an echo from somewhere else. I don't know, but it was really cool to be the only person out there and hear that.
I'm telling you, some of the most awesome experiences I've had is in Gettysburg, and it's probably because that's where I spend most of my time.
Sure.
But I have a connection there somehow. Something has captured my every fiber.
Okay, so Mark says the Rose Woods. I think the Rose Woods, being that the Rose Woods was such a, I mean, like a hotly contested area. I mean, it would make sense. I mean, you figure, what was it? The 17th U.S. lost something like 47% in like 3 acres of land. I mean, it's insane.
Right.
When you think about numbers of people that lost their lives like that, it would make sense.
Yeah. And see, I love having you on because for us paranormal folk, we love hearing the stories because I know that it's, the park rangers and the historians kind of poo poo us. They think we're full of shit and goofy and whatever. But we want to keep history alive just as the same as they do.
Sure.
So we love hearing the historical side of things. We love hearing there's still unmarked graves somewhere in Gettysburg, and hey, maybe we can communicate with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a different way of preserving history.
It is.
It's another way to preserve history,
It whatever, in my opinion, whatever brings attention to Gettysburg is a good thing.
Exactly.
How you doing? The economy benefits from all of it, and listen, outside of the peak tourism season, it's difficult for Gettysburg, because they really do, their business really thrives on tourism. So I don't care if it's ghost tours. I don't care what it is, as long as it's bringing money into Gettysburg, which is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to continue this. I mean, outside of, the historical reasons, which are the biggest reason for me, it's why I'm doing Gettysburg different than really what's been done before. See, George Lomas really had a vision for the event. He really cared about keeping a standard. And when he ran these things, it wasn't really until the GAC got a hold of it, really things started to change, become more of a commercial. I love the Patriots of the Civil War hat you're rocking, though. All right, I love that. Go PCWA.
But listen, Paranormal Brew is going to be working. I'm volunteering. I'm helping Dustin. He brought me out to the site when I was in Gettysburg the last time.
How about that place?
We drove around. He showed me. I held a 2-week-old baby goat, right?
Yes. Actually, you had the goat. The name is Gigi. I think it's girl's goat, and then you held a tiny little. I think the sheep was like 2 weeks old at that point. Gigi was a little bit older, so you're
Oh,
talking about
okay, yeah.
the
So we have
sheep, the
little.
sheep in the diaper.
Oh, I didn't want to let it go, and
I
then
never saw a person melt before. You melted.
she was like, "Ma," like, and I was like, "Sound like a person."
It's kind of funny.
And then the whole bird cat thing happened, and I had to run away. And then drove
Circle
around.
of life.
But on the property, there's a cemetery from the early 1800s.
Yeah.
Maybe I think even before.
Yes, it goes back to 1700s. Yeah.
The church, Dustin.
Upper Marsh Creek
I
Meeting
went in.
House. So here's the cool thing about that.
I went in there. I want to investigate there. See, this is the thing. Maybe we can add a little paranormal to the reenactments.
That is going to be a tough sell.
I know.
The folks that run that, they run a very tight ship. And I will tell you some updates, and I'll break them here on the show, if that's okay with you. I haven't even put it out on my own page.
Yes.
But we do have final confirmation that we'll be using the church for church services. So that's a good thing. And we're using the entrance of the church for our Confederate registration. So that's going to make things so much easier for us. They can drive right into Confederate camp, right by the church. And let's talk a little bit about this, because this is important to me. So the Patriots of the Civil War Association is actually a nonprofit organization. We are not yet 501c3, but we are working on that. Once we become 501c3, we're hoping it's within the next week or two here. It's been a long process to get to this point. Believe me, I'm not going to process. Yes, it has been a long process to get to this point. It just came out that way. Shut it. Yes, it's been a long process to this point. Yeah, but it has been. The process has been arduous.
You're going into reenactment mode.
I have, yes, I have. But it's been stressful. We had an attorney who was working on it. He showed us documents that he submitted to things like that, but the IRS says, "Well, we never got anything from you." And I mean, we have all this paperwork from our attorney, and it says, "Look, I spent this much money, I did all this, and for whatever reason, it didn't get there." But anyway, I digress. Let's keep to the point. The church is our charity for this event. So
I'm going to be in church the whole time. I'm going to bring a recorder, but I'm going to be in church.
There you go. Hey, do your thing. Go to church. Do your thing. Praise the Lord. And Zeus pass me a DVR.
I'm going to bring my trigger prop Zeus as my support animal.
There you go.
In the corner.
Hopefully Charlie's not watching this.
I'm just kidding.
No, Charlie, I'll tell you something. Those folks at the church, as much as Ken and our guys, our landowners, have been incredible. Charlie and those folks at the church have been exactly the same. They've been more than willing to work with us. They're doing a lot for us. And so what they need is that roof repaired. That church was built in 1830. So
do you know you could sell paranormal investigations?
I could.
Yeah.
You mean for you? Go ahead and sell for my event?
No, for the church.
Raise
money for the church.
Gotcha. Well, I'll leave the paranormal stuff to you. You thrive in that. I'm a history guy.
I know.
But we work well together.
Yeah. But on the outside of the building, which is really cool, I just want to point out, because I love stuff like this. This is the shit I love. But they have carvings. There's initials in 1840, and then the year 1847, right?
43. So that's the earliest one that I was able to find, 1843.
1843 is carved on the outside of the church.
Yep. 20 years before Gettysburg happened. Yep.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it is neat. And so what's really cool, hey, Megan, what's up?
I get excited about shit like that.
Oh, but it's so cool. That's tangible evidence that they were there. Somebody stood there. And it's got that, the handwriting back then was so more elegant and neat looking and so much more refined.
But even when they carved their initials and stuff, it's
ornate and beautiful.
Yeah, it's almost like they stamped it.
Do you know the best rock carving? not rock carving. The best carving that I think is in Gettysburg is actually on the side of the McPherson's barn, and it's right above the window. I think it's 100. Correct me if I'm wrong, history dudes, but I think it's the 147th Pennsylvania, and some folks that came back from the 147th and carved their initials and that into the window above the window, and
So
it's
there's a bunch of them?
beautiful. I could take you over there and show you sometime. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
really
I didn't know
it's a
about
really
it.
cool carving.
Nobody knows
And
about
look, I just found, and listen, I've been going to Gettysburg since I was a wee tyke,
it. Now I have
a little
things I-
man. But I've found rock carving. I've been shown rock carvings. I've read about rock carvings, and I've gone and I've seen them all. I just found two names carved into the Trossel barn that I'd never even heard of or seen before, and I posted it on Gettysburg Past and Present. I posted it on our page, the Patriots and the Civil War group page, and I own the Battle of Gettysburg trivia page as well. And there's some like 5,000 or 6,000 members on there, and nobody except one person.
Where was it at? What barn?
The Trossel, Trostle.
Really? I've been there so many
Mhm.
times.
I'll pull it up here
Hold on.
because doing it on my phone.
Trossel barn, I have to go to that back part of Eisenhower. I got to write this down. So we totally digressed from your event.
We do. This is what happens when you and I start talking.
So, but we're gonna get there. So, hi, Carmen.
Oof.
What?
Oh, I just saw something. Somebody sent a picture. I guess I was tagged in a video that's really not, that doesn't belong on my page at all. I'm going to have to take care of that. Look, I'm watching us as I look down at my phone.
Oh.
So let me show you these pictures because it's super cool. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at my phone. I can't even concentrate on the live that we're doing. But this picture is so cool. Okay, so check this out, Taryn. I don't know. Can you see this?
What? Yeah.
That's SXX, I think it is.
Yeah.
The light is making it hard to see.
When you first put it up, you could see it.
And then HLT.
Wait, tilt it towards the laptop or your laptop or computer.
Oh, the screens it's too bright. But my studio,
yeah.
my studio lighting is so bright that. But that's HLT. You see?
I see it.
Those they're engraved right in the side of the Trossel barn, which is really cool. So somebody took a lot of time and spent like hours just carving their initials into the rocks of that barn. So that they have a story to tell, and that's one of the things about Gettysburg that I love. It's not just a battle that took place there, and that's one of the things that we're doing. Why we're pushing what we're pushing for this event, and why I'm so passionate about it is because it touched the lives of millions of people. And it changed the lives of millions of people, not just the people who died on those battlefields, but the people who were in town and who had to see the horrors of war firsthand, the civilians who had to come out and deal with wounded, agonizing, men in pain, bleeding, body parts missing, who had their legs sawn off without
horses.
Horses. I mean, there were thousands of 5,000 horses who died. Maybe more at Gettysburg.
I have this little book of facts of Gettysburg facts.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, you can't find it anywhere.
Because
I was trying to get it for somebody, and it tells you like how many pounds of urine and feces like a day, and like all kinds of crazy facts. So
it's nuts. It's nuts. So that's what's the things that people don't even think about. Okay, there were 53,000 casualties at Gettysburg. 53,000, but there were hundreds of
in 2 days.
3.
Wow.
There's 3 days. Yeah, first, second, and third. But there was hundreds of thousands of men, and there was thousands of horses they all has to they still have the things of nature that everybody still does. They have to do, and so do the horses. And then on top of it, it's 93 degrees at some point, or 96 degrees at some point, and these bodies are just laying out there. How you doing, Brandon? They're just laying out there in the sun, rotting in broad daylight. So you have accounts of, and these guys were buried in some cases only inches of, like 2 or 3 inches of dirt thrown over top of them, and at night you could see this effervescent green light emanating from these graves because their body were just creating this, like, this effervescent, like,
Like gas.
yeah, it was gas, and it was just, I mean, horrible, horrible. So when you go to Gettysburg today and you stand there and you're on these beautiful, peaceful fields, it hits you in the soul. But you have to take a moment and you have to reflect, because this is why the Patriots, the Civil War exists, because we have to remember that. It is up to us to convey that to the next generation. We have to do it's in our hands now. And if we don't do the absolute best job that we can, then we are not doing our job. We are not doing the service that we are required to do to remember these folks. And I am so tired of hearing this Confederate argument, blah, blah, blah. Listen, the United States government recognizes Confederate soldiers as American veterans, and they should be treated as such. Okay, we weren't around in the 1800s. We don't think the way they thought in the 1800s. So you cannot put yourself in that position and try to, I mean, we don't understand what they lived like. We don't understand that. I mean, we try through literature, through writing and things of that nature.
So it's good that you're doing these reenactments so people can still see.
Exactly, because unless you do this, you're doomed to repeat the past. And that's why it's so important that we remember these people and the sacrifices that were made. A lot of people don't even understand that only 1% of the people who served in the Confederacy were actually slave owners. A lot of these folks were just trying to fight for their states' rights. Okay, they saw the Union Army as an invasion force coming into their home.
Yeah, and there were black Confederate regiments.
Absolutely,
there were black officers that were Confederates. So
the officers, that was a tougher one, but just when the 54th Massachusetts did what they did, and anybody who's ever seen the movie Glory, that they talk about the 54th Massachusetts and their very brave assault on Fort Wagner, and that was led by Robert Gould Shaw, and really that changed the outlook on, hey, these black soldiers, these black men fight, and they're fighting better than some of these white regiments. So people get too hung up on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You really need to look at the whole picture. And all these people talking about traitors and, get these Confederate monuments out. Some of this stuff, okay, yes, was put up. It was the whole Jim Crow era, and racism was rampant, but again, a different mentality. It's a different time. And erasing the history is only setting you up to repeat the transgressions of the past. So we've got to really focus on what we're doing here in this country now, and really, really try to look past that and learn from it and become a better person from that. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I always use 9/11 as an example for modern day. I went through the 9/11 memorial. That was such an emotional 3.5 hours of my life.
Sure.
It was heart-wrenching. And it was beautiful. And then you get around towards the end, and there's a section of the belongings of the terrorists. They have their laptop on display. They have a pair of shoes. They have keys. They have IDs. They have their pictures up. And I got so angry because it's almost as if, this is what they wanted. They wanted, because they think that this is what gets them to Allah or whoever they believe in.
It's like martyrdom in a sense.
They want to take the blame for it. They want to take the blame for such a catastrophe. So I got so angry, right? And then I thought about it. If they took all that out, what are we seeing? What happened here?
Our side of the story.
Right. Like what if we took their pictures and their belongings and we took them out of the story? We took them out. We took everything down. There was nothing to remember it by. The terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
What is 9/11? What happened? There's a piece of the puzzle missing. And that's what I agree with you with. You can't erase history. You just can't erase it, because then what did all those people die for? What did they die for? If there was no fight, if there was no story, if there was nothing to fight for, what did they die for?
See, I believe every voice should be heard to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
We might not agree with it. We were raised in a certain, it was like a utopia. Yeah, we might have struggled in our own lives, but really when you step out of the borders of this country and the confines of the United States, and you realize, because I've been deployed to Egypt and I've been in these places, and I've seen how different life is outside of the US, and folks here do not realize how good it is.
I
I
know.
mean,
You hear
um,
people say it all the time that come here.
well, the thing of it is like, you see people, and look, I'm not saying that struggle isn't real. It breaks my heart to see American veterans who served this country living on the street. Okay.
Mhm.
But I'm a hard nosed guy. I'm a guy who works harder than most. In most cases, you're never going to outwork me. And when I need or want something, I go for it. I work for it. I put everything, and just watch my videos. You know this about me. I work hard. If I want or need something, or if my family needs something, I work and I go and I do it.
Mhm.
So I don't like seeing people out there with their hands out on the street. It might be hard of me to say that, but I say you can go and change your circumstances. You can do that. I don't care
If
what
they're
your
mentally
background is.
if they're mentally stable. I mean, because a lot
Then
of times,
that's where the system has failed
right.
these people. Okay, big time. And I'm not taking anything away from that. And I'm not as close minded as it sounds like when it comes to these things. But there should be programs out there helping these people get back on their feet and then back into society. This is, we're not talking about the Gettysburg Civil War reenactment at all.
I know.
but,
I know. I'm
but
thinking, I'm like, how did we get here?
yeah, but no, but listen, that's like my show off the cuff, right? So I mean, that's what we do, Taryn. You might run a paranormal brew and and you
We
talk
literally
paranormal,
talked
but we
about
are so off the cuff.
paranormal. We talked
Yeah.
about paranormal. We talked about history. We talked
Mhm.
about 9/11. We talked like, what is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. We didn't talk about my view of 9/11, but we
All
won't
right.
do that.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not crack open that can of worms, right?
let's 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 talk about the reenactments. Let's talk about what to expect, what people are buying, how we're gonna, where I'm gonna be, because I'm gonna be doing little wristbands, I think, right?
Not just that.
Oh,
No, so we don't do the wristbands. What I know what you're talking about is when people come in and they like you're going to be selling admission tickets, but we're not doing wristbands. We're just doing these little. Of course, 9 times out of 10, I have 100 of them sitting here. Okay, yes, this is a guest pass. You see, and this is a 1-day guest pass, and it's authorized by me. There's a phone number on the back, but they'll have a Patriots of the Civil War Association stamp on the back, depending on how many days, is how many times it's stamped, things of that nature. And these will be getting handed out to our guests so they can leave if they need to leave. And then they just show the stamped pass, and then they can get right back in. But this is what you'll be doing. So it's not a wristband, it is a pass that you'll be handing out. You'll be stamping. And so if somebody comes in and says it's Friday and they want 3-day pass, you'll sell them a 3-day pass. You'll stamp this bugger 3
is this
times with different
easy? Like,
colors.
is it like $15 a day?
It's 25 bucks a day.
Okay, good. That's easy.
Well, it's okay. So that's what it's actually 30. $5 goes to as part of the parking fee that goes directly to one of our landowners to recover his ground, since we're using his side for parking.
So
and
can
we're
you
gonna.
just explain to everybody, because I learned this too, about how, like, what a reenactment does to farmland. So these people in town are also donating their land,
They're
correct?
not. No, so it's in a sense, yes, they're allowing us to use their land, but we are giving them something for that.
Right, but I'm saying they have to, I mean, they have farmland, I mean, it's
Yes, and that land has primarily just been used for farming forever.
yeah,
They farm hay out there, and that's their livelihood. So they took a really big risk at allowing us to come out there. We've asked them, and this is what people need to understand. We asked them to interrupt their lives, what they've been used to for decades, to allow us to come out there with thousands of people, drive on their ground, and tear it up, because the parking is going to wear ruts into their ground. They get acres and acres and acres of hay off of that ground, and that's their livelihood. So you have to understand, this is why I push so hard when I do my live videos and when I'm talking to folks. It is so important that you go out there and you respect the ground to the utmost. Okay, don't leave your cigarette butt. Nothing will irk me more than finding cigarette butts laying on the, and I'm not calling anybody out, okay, but there were people who were out there helping me build fence, and they were dropping their cigarette butts on the ground, and I could feel that, like cartoons when the steam comes out, like I felt that in my neck. I'm like, oh my God. But we just picked them up, and because I'm grateful for the help. But how are you going to come out there and just drop cigarette butts on these
that's how I
people's
feel. Like,
property?
when I'm in Gettysburg, that's how I am. Well, I don't smoke cigarettes.
Ah,
When
no.
I used to, I wouldn't put the cigarette butts out on the ground at all.
I mean, come
But
on, it's just a simple matter of respect.
that's what I'm
But
saying. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you can't do the reenactments on the actual inside the park where the stuff happened, because it's
there's a
hollow.
lot of reasons. Go ahead.
But it would potentially ruin some of the hollowed ground, the protected land, and
Yeah,
they can't have
right.
that.
Traffic is a big thing for the Park Service. It's a big thing. You don't want to destroy or even, disturb too much. Understand too that Camp Colt was right in the center of
I know,
Pinnacle
and there's
Guard.
tanks on it.
Tanks tore that place up. The ground does not look like it looked when soldiers crossed it. It's
Right.
close. It's close, but Camp Colt tore that place up. I mean, we're talking about World War One tanks. I mean,
I know.
so they used the bank barn of the Bliss Farm. There's a photograph of a tank going over the bank of the Bliss Farm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but the Park Service has been entrusted with protecting that place, and they've done a great job. There's some things that have been lacking. I'm not a huge fan of the beavers out there. I'm not a huge fan of Lake Crawford. Okay, it doesn't belong there. It does not help to interpret the battle, which is the purpose of a military park. It is to interpret the battle that took place there. I am all about wildlife. God, I love seeing those beaver dams. That is the coolest thing ever. It just not there. Okay, just get it out. Get them out. It doesn't. I want to interpret the Battle of Gettysburg to the best of my ability, and that's the purpose of a military park. So, but they have to. The Park Service has to work with nature, and they have to work with the public, and they have to preserve the history. So it's a really dynamic, interesting problem, and allowing something like a Civil War reenactment to take place out there just completely disturbs everything. Now they do allow living histories, and I will say, the Liberty Rifles were out there, and they were at full strength for the First Minnesota, and the First Minnesota is my all-time favorite regiment. Okay, for what they did out there. And give me a second. Let me talk about this, because this is I love this. And the First Minnesota, these guys were laying on the ground, and Hancock is over it off in the distance. Sickles was out where he wasn't supposed to be at the Rose Farm. He was way out there, and he's getting his butt kicked. He's getting pushed back. They're running for their lives at this point. And here is the First Minnesota, just 200. What is it? I'm like 263. I think it's 263 or 262 guys who were just laying there. Okay. And Coville, I think his name is Coville, talked to Hancock. Hancock simply said, charge those men. And 2,500 soldiers under Barksdale and Wilcox are coming across the swale. And these 260 guys get up and charge, knowing full well they are dead. Okay. And they halted the advance of those regiments.
So there was 2 charges.
There was multiple charges. Everyone's so the Chamberlain charge, and that's always the big one.
Hey, easy.
It's always the big one, the little round top charge and the bayonets and blah blah blah.
My boy, don't you?
Well, but listen, the whole bayonets thing didn't really happen the way.
Yes, it did.
Not the way Chamberlain says it happened.
Oh my God, I'm not having this argument with you.
We're not going to go there.
Because it did happen. It happened.
Yes, there was a bayonet charge.
There was a bayonet charge. Right. At the end of the day, he did what he had to do. Don't tell me when you have no ammo and there's all this shit going on around you that you can hear if somebody actually says it or not says it. Really? That's what we're going to base that on? Like the reasonings that people have to say, like, oh, it wasn't how it went down. Both
sensitive
sides.
About this topic?
What?
Sensitive about this topic much?
Talk about my boy.
I know you're a Chamberlain fanatic and I get it. But
there's a question in here. But go ahead.
Bring it up. No, bring up that question.
I think Mark Nesbitt talks about that. Is that's not Party Field? Where did that happen?
Are you talking about the 1st Minnesota?
Yeah, the story you were just telling, because I've read that somewhere.
Well, the 1st Minnesota actually happened right on Cemetery Ridge, just down from the copse of trees. If you know where the Pennsylvania Monument stands, right? The 1st Minnesota Monument is the big one with the guy is charging with the rifle. He's running with his fixed bayonet. That's the 1st Minnesota. But they were actually laying probably right in where the Pennsylvania Monument is. And when they charged down into the swale down in there, and they lost, I think only 47 of those guys came back alive and unscathed. Maybe not even all unscathed. It was like an 80% casualty rate. So those guys should be, in my opinion, the entire 1st Minnesota should have the Medal of Honor. But the whole point of all this was that the Liberty Rifles went out there and they recreated it to the number on Park Service ground. So it was a disaster because we got this massive torrential downpour and didn't know, everybody ran for their lives. It was ridiculous. But to see all those guys out there was incredible.
I feel like I read it. I feel like Mark Nesbitt wrote about it. Maybe I'm wrong. I was trying to look for the book, but I can't find it. It must be in my bag somewhere. But
has
the underbrush been cleared out from the woods near Confederate camping?
Not all of it. And that's actually going to be getting taken care of probably throughout this week and next. But there's going to be plenty of open area for you to camp in the woods. Or even if you don't want to camp in the woods, you want to put a picket line in there for the horses, you'll be able to do that with ease.
So this will be interesting too. The people that are camping there overnight, I wonder if they'll have any paranormal experiences.
Well, want to hear a really cool story?
Because when they were making the movie Gettysburg, some of the actors actually had experiences. Oh, did you see my shirt? My shirt says Gettysburg.
I'm not surprised. I didn't see that coming.
But so I wonder if they will. Do they talk about it?
Who, reenactors?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they do. They don't talk about it with me.
What were you just going to say before I interrupted you? Because it was rude that I did that. You were about to say something.
We interrupt each other the entire time we talk. That's just what we do. No,
but you were gonna,
so
go ahead.
What are you okay? Are you getting a little warm over there? You need a fan?
All right.
I don't recall.
Oh, great.
Well, no, I mean you're talking. So what we were talking about was, and I said I have a cool little story I can tell you.
Yeah.
One of the really cool things about being in Gettysburg, so much of the ground is historic ground that was traversed by. Yes, Andy, I am a skeptical person.
He's had experiences, so don't even let him try it.
I think I might possibly have had experiences. I don't know, but I could maybe explain. One, I really can't explain, but we'll get into that
That's a
later.
whole. That's another show.
Exactly. But all right, so the thing about this is Gettysburg in majority of the ground has been preserved. You know, it's part of the Park Service. But there is still a lot of ground in Gettysburg, around Gettysburg, that is battlefield or was traversed by the armies, that is in private hands. This
Lucky.
property that we are using, just because it's not part of the national park, it does not mean it is not historic ground. And we have, and my vice president, Scott Fink, who is an incredible researcher, the guy is impressive how he finds stuff. It blows my mind. But he found an account from Wilcox talking about how Wilcox Brigade actually camped on this ground that we're using. And there's been metal detecting done out there. The Confederate bullets have been found,
That's so cool.
and other items, buckles and things of that nature. Not like the belt buckles, but like strap buckles. You know what I mean? Like for knapsacks, things of that nature. So have been found on this property, and his account puts them at a very specific location. He said we camped at where two streams met and where there was a mill. That's don't quote me directly on that, but he talks about a mill that was at the corner of where two creeks meet. That's Craig's property, right where Upper Marsh Creek or Lower Big Marsh Creek,
How
Little
does
Marsh
he
Creek
find this
meet.
stuff out? Where does he actually
I
see?
don't know.
But he sees it like written somewhere.
Yep, he found the report that Wilcox wrote about them camping on that ground. So, guys, we're using Gettysburg historic ground for this event. So that's another reason why you need to treat it with the utmost respect when you come out there. Don't leave your trash thrown all over the place. You put it in a bag and a receptacle and put
Cemetery's
it
cool.
where the freaking it belongs. The
Yeah.
cemetery?
Yeah, I'm saying there's like a lot of history on this property. You
It's
know,
huge.
how
Dude,
many
Joseph
acres is
Sherfy.
the land?
Okay, so one side's 147 acres, the other side is 118.
There you go. Like that's like what?
I don't do the math.
I don't know. I can't. That's
You
why I'm
can't do
surprised.
math?
That's why I'm surprised you're trusting me to. I'm kidding. I'll be fine with taking money and
Trusting you.
25
totally.
times 3 is 75. I get it.
What?
All right. If somebody buys a 3-day pass, it's $75. No, it's
265 acres.
90 $90 for 3 days.
Well,
it's $30 a day.
Well, no, the price goes down. So if you buy 1-day pass, it's $30. If
somebody that needs to know, Dustin, if I'm going to be selling tickets.
Yeah, well, you'll have a sheet right in front of you. You'll have everything you need to know right in front of you.
Okay, but tell people if they want to buy tickets for the reenactments, which you should, because it's going to be so fucking cool.
It is going to be awesome. So you can go to thepcwa.org, KTHEPCWA.org, and you can register as a reenactor. We're keeping registration open the whole time.
Here, I'm gonna.
You can go. You can do spectator tickets. What you got to do is you click the book now. There's a link that says book now. It's usually at the bottom of every page. Click that link. It's going to take you to Fair Harbor. You can register as a Union or Confederate reenactor. Okay, when you do that, living history is under either one of those. If you're a living historian or whatever, and you're coming out as a civilian, you can register under either one of those and select living history or civilian or whatever. Spectators, you can choose from the 23rd, 24th, or 25th. It is a scale. The price changes. So initially it was $25 and it was $45 for 2 or $65 for 3 days. So we save you money. You're not just paying, the $25 or $30 per day. Like I said, there is a $5 parking fee attached to those tickets. Again, that is to help Craig recover his side of the property. That is going to be, it's going to go back into helping him out. Yep. And
that's great. And that's like, that is also something that, us as paranormal investigators, that's what we love doing. We love giving our money. So to see that the money is going back into the place that we are at and being either preserved or, fixed. And so, that isn't a lot of money.
No, and what you guys have done at like Selma, what you guys did for Selma, Reenactors, yeah, we're approaching like 2000, like 2,700 and like
That's a
80-ish or
lot.
something. Hmm.
That's a
I
lot of
think,
reenactors. Did you get any
yeah,
cavalry from Ohio? Just asking.
yes.
Oh, I wonder if my guy's going to be coming.
Who's your guy?
I saw him at the first reenactments. He was cavalry. He was Ohio. He was from Ohio. I bought him a sarsaparilla.
Really? Well, my buddy Paul Walsh is coming from Ohio, and he is cavalry.
How old is he
Um,
now?
he's an older fella. I don't know how old he is. I mean, he's not old. He's Paul. If you're watching, I'm trying to do
Oh,
this tenderly. Son of a bitch is ancient. No, I'm just kidding.
I wonder if I could find the picture of the guy. I took a picture with him.
Did you? It could
Yeah.
take you a long time to dig through pictures to find that.
I'll send it
But
to you.
there's actually a lot of Ohio Cav coming. There's people coming from Wyoming who are doing Ohio Cav.
Oh,
Pretty
really?
cool.
Well,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, the reason why he said that he had a farm. He brought horses. So I think he was like, yeah, I'm from Ohio. I have like 7 or 8 horses or something. This was back. But my very first, well, I was there in 2008 for the reenactments or 2007. That's how long ago it was.
You know, I've been doing this since I was 14. I'm 44. Do the math. And I've seen the hobby go through a lot of changes in that time. I've seen it go from really like good quality events to them start to kind of go downhill, get a little too commercial, becomes a little too much about the money. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm just, as a generalization, that's what it caught down to. And we started getting away from the standard. What you looked like in 1863 is what we're reenacting. That's what you should look like now, to the
Mhm.
best of your ability. You shouldn't look like a clown coming out there. And listen, there are people, and what you do to your body is your business. I do not care what you do to your body. If you want to have gauges and holes in your ear the size of like a watermelon, that's your choice. I don't care. But when you come out to a Civil War reenactment, you need to lose the jewelry and stuff like that, because it doesn't look right being out there. I mean, I've seen zero accounts of anybody being out there with 3,000 things in their ears and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't care what people do to their body. It's none of my business. But when it comes to historically recreating 1863, we want to do that to the best of our ability.
Are you gonna have
And
women in period dress there too?
absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is one of the coolest things ever. I'm so excited about this. Like, Taryn, you're going to love this. This girl, Michaela Carter, has come on board, and God bless this woman, because she came in like at the last minute, and she coordinated this with virtually no time to do it. Took over because we lost a person who was supposed to be taking care of it, and she picked it up and she turned this thing into this incredible. I'm so excited. It's called The People of Baltimore Street, and it is an immersive civilian encampment, but it's done to look like it's set up to look like part of the town. And it's just, and her standards are high. I respect that. I respect what they do at the Amaranth Society. Those people are killing it. And she's bringing that to our event. Like, you guys are going to see some of the coolest things ever at this event.
I can't
No
wait.
questions asked.
Wait,
I'm telling you.
am I gonna have time to walk around?
I'll make sure you get time. Of course. I don't want
I
you
need
to
a
just
break to go to church. I need a break to walk around and check things out and shop. I need a break to go back to church.
DVR in pocket.
DVR, recorder, my support animal Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
And no, but I do want to walk around.
Well, and you'll have an opportunity to do that, of course. Mm-hmm.
Is there gonna be moonshine?
No. Nope. This is a dry event. No alcohol on site.
Really?
Our insurance will not allow it.
Wow.
Boo hoo. That just means we're not going to have to throw drunken people out. My kind of woman, a state trooper. BYO. I ain't saying shit.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
I'm saying is there's no alcohol allowed on site.
yes. So, anyways, um, you know, church is importante for me.
Boy,
So I will have to check it out. I bet they had plenty of moonshine. Well, I didn't cover that up very good, did I?
no, you didn't. But that's okay. Yes, I'm sure those guys
I
spent a
did
lot of
when we
time.
were at the reenactment site. I did try hardtack. Am I saying that right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we tried it together.
Yeah, and it actually. I mean, you would need
You,
something for that to go down easily because that
actually, Dustin, that was Dustin who gave us that, and he made that was a pretty good hardtack.
that
It's
was good.
usually it's usually not that good. Like
But
it's
I don't
usually
want to try
like
a bad one because that. I mean, that was edible.
it was edible. He did it for it being like months old. It was still pretty good.
Have you ever been to any events here? No.
No, I've never been to Kentucky. Well, I've been to Kentucky. I went to basic training there for one. I went to Fort Knox, and I was like the second from the last Cav troop that cycled through there until Cav was transferred to Benning, I think it was, and then um, yeah. So I spent time in Kentucky doing that, but then I also went to Kentucky to do the Hatfield McCoy tour, which was really cool. But I'll tell you what, those Kentuckians, my daughter stepped off of
You see my
the
nail?
land. Yes, America. Um, my daughter stepped around just right on the other side of a chain because we were at the Hatfield Cemetery and we were going up to the cemetery and there's a chain there that says no trespassing. She was a little kid. She had no idea what that means. And this woman comes out with a shotgun. She goes, "Get off my land!" I mean, it was all Kentucky. I thought she was going to shoot us.
Oh no. Yeah, that scares me. All right,
Mhm.
so are there gonna be food vendors? What are we looking at food wise?
Yes. So, okay, people give me a lot of crap for this one. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna catch a lot of heat. There is one food vendor. You're like, what? For all
Ice
those
vendor.
people? Well, this one can handle 15,000 people per day. And she's got barbecue. She's got all the stuff that hamburgers, hot dogs, and
They have
all,
anything
dare
vegetarian?
I say funnel cake. What?
Anything vegetarian?
I doubt it.
You have to take
um, I I take it up with her. Her name is Candace. Put on the feedback. Give her a call. And the other
no, you have to
there
think.
is some ice cream vendors going to be there.
Oh. So
Oh,
so the people that don't eat meat have to eat ice cream all weekend?
there you go. Or you can just go down the street to Gettysburg because they have a lot of delicious cuisine in Gettysburg. Yep, French fries. Got to get your fries,
Okay,
bro.
so but you gotta think the people the parking. I mean, people are gonna be parking, they're not gonna be able to get out.
It's not going to be that bad. I listen. This is
Yes,
very well
Juan.
planned. This is very well planned. The parking is well planned. The flow of the parking is well
You
planned. The
should just get
entrances,
Uncle
exits.
Mose. Get Uncle Mose to come.
You worry too much. Trust me.
Uncle
Grasshopper.
Mose. You should ask
Uncle
him.
Mose.
He's a food
Uncle
truck.
Mose.
He's always in Gettysburg. He's around the circle.
Oh, no, these guys. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah,
He
yeah.
does
He does
like
like Cajun stuff. Yeah.
Cajun style, yeah.
Mhm.
That would be something
Yeah.
just a little extra. Plus, he has amazing French food.
I told. Here's the thing. I told Candace she would have
You're the only
exclusivity.
one. Oh.
And I like to try to keep my word. I did talk to her and say, hey, I was, because I'm starting to have my doubts too. Like, this is going to be pretty big. It's a national event that's actually gone global, and there's going to be a lot of people there. It worries me that she's going to have 2-hour lines, and I do not want that. And she promises me that she can handle it. She's going to have a lot, like 25 people just taking orders. She says she is very well staffed, and it won't be a long wait. She has assured me of all this, and I trust what she says, and we'll give it a shot. And this could be a learning experience either way.
You have to have a
But
backup plan.
yeah, unfortunately, when you make a promise, do your best to keep it, you know.
I'm
And
not a
I've
bad
already
person.
asked her.
I get it, but you know what?
Yeah,
You're gonna be selling a lot of tickets to an event, and you don't want to not have food
I know.
because you
I
don't
trust
know
me.
anything could happen.
I know. I know.
And
So
I'm not saying that
this,
against her.
no,
You
no, of course.
know,
And trust
anything
me,
can happen.
you're sharing with in my concerns as well. But she said she can handle it, and she has a lot to offer. I mean, they're doing barbecue, they're doing pit beef, and I asked them specifically, okay, do not be charging $8 for a cheeseburger. I do not want to see that kind of stuff. Her prices will be below carnival prices. You know what I mean? Because look, it costs a lot of money. Post COVID, people are still trying to recover from all of that. And we are acutely aware of this. Okay. So we kept our prices low. We're not charging you, oh, a $25 to get in. Oh, then we're going to charge you another $25 to sit in bleacher seatings, which, by the way, we do not have. We do not feel that they're safe. We feel that they create heat casualties. You know, yes, there is going to be a separate line for drinks, Andy. There is, that's all covered. There's different drink stations that will be around. So
Ew.
there's a lot. Ew! Don't even ew pit beef. Oh, that's right. You don't like cow. You don't like anything that tastes good. Grass fed. That's what you are.
I'll
What?
I'll eat funnel cake and ice cream for all weekend.
No $10 hamburgers. That shit's not going to fly at our event. No, we won't have that. I don't think it's fair to people, just because there's like a special event and you have to like mortgage your house to bring your family out there to do that. You know what I mean? But keeping in mind, people, I literally got a question from this lady just the other day. She goes, is there a fee and why? Okay. I'm like, why is there? Well, the event is costing us about $250,000. Okay. Not even counting what we have set aside for the landowners. Um, this is going to be a massive, expensive event. Okay. And you have to charge people to cover those expenses. But we
And
didn't
you're
make it.
also giving back to the land. You're giving them back, to try to help salvage the land that
Yeah.
everybody's going to be trampling on. To be honest with you, I mean, like, yeah, not all the proceeds are going back to the land, but some of it is. So,
But a big chunk of our proceeds are going to
and it's for
restore that church.
and it's for our enjoyment.
Right. Absolutely. And believe me,
So, like,
I've
what do you
sacrificed
think?
3 years of my life to give you guys 3 days of an event that you're going to have a great time. But keep in mind, and I want to get this out. We are restoring the Upper Marsh Creek Church. Okay, it is a historic property. I haven't found any I haven't put Scott on this yet, but once I can guarantee you that was probably used by some Confederate officers. Okay, that church. Look, Wilcox was right there. Do you think they didn't use that church to sit in, to talk in, or whatever? I'm sure that they were probably in there.
I don't know.
Regardless,
Probably let me go in there and do an EVP session or two to find out.
that's not all me. What you do is what you do. All right. But what event is this? This is the 160th. Yeah, it's the 160th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg Civil War reenactment run. But the Upper Marsh Creek Church wants to get put on the National Register of Historic Places. Okay, I've been trying to say this like 9 times now. we keep digressing from this, but that is what we're doing. So it costs a lot of money to do that. The roof needs replaced. That's about a $4,000 expense. It's another $4,000 expense just to see if the property is even eligible to be placed on the National Register, which I'm about 98% sure it is. And then after that, we're going to also help pay for the next fee to get that in there. So that's a huge thing that we're doing. That's where we're spending our donation dollars from the event. So getting that Upper Marsh Creek Church on the National Register. It's a big deal.
Well,
So
I want to get it on the National Register.
That's what we're doing.
No metal detecting.
Brian, no. No metal
I'll
detecting.
sleep in the church.
You'd be happy to sleep in the church if it helps. I see BC Johnson there got my message.
Wait, you want you to sleep in the church?
You're not allowed to sleep in the church.
Why?
No. Well, I mean, first of all, I never did ask if anyone's allowed to sleep in the church, and I also don't want to take advantage of a good situation.
Well, why is he saying I'll be happy to sleep in the church if it's all? You said, oh, he must have got my message.
Oh no, because he asked me if we had gone live yet, and I said we are live now. So here he is. He found the show.
Oh. It is going to be June 23rd, 4th, and 5th. I'm working it. You should come. You're going to have fun.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the schedule because that's really important. No, Brian, there
It was a
are people
joke.
that are going to be
No, I'll
flying.
really sleep in the church.
There are people that are going to be flying drones, but they are film crews. History Flicks will be there, and potentially Netflix will be there filming as well. Um, so it's a pretty big deal. There's a lot of filming that is going to be going on.
That's awesome.
So it's really neat. It's a really, really neat situation. Again, because we are keeping and maintaining a very high standard for our reenactors. People want to get involved in that because it is a cool thing to actually experience when these guys put so much in, and all reenactors across the board. And I'm not separating one side of the hobby from the other. It is an expensive hobby to get involved in. Okay, it
Those
is.
outfits are expensive.
It's crazy. Then look, okay,
Are
just
you going to have like a Sutler's Row?
yes, just this musket, $1,500
Yeah.
for a Civil War musket. Okay, it's a lot of money to do this. And by the way, if you go to thepcwa.org/shop, you can buy yourself a $20 bracelet. You're like, $20 bracelet? Yes. I usually have about 20 of them sitting here. You have a $20 bracelet, but that automatically enters you in our free giveaway for this
What's my
1853 style
bracelet?
Enfield musket.
I got to buy a bracelet?
To get entered into the drawing. If you just want a bracelet, I will give you a bracelet.
I do want a bracelet. What do they look like?
Give me a second. Monica.
Yeah.
I need a bracelet. Can you give me a bracelet, please?
So I'll be working there. Is Monica going to be there?
Yes, Monica will be there.
Is she going to be dressed
Okay.
up?
She's not going to be dressed up.
Oh, man.
These are the bracelets. Now, I have a green screen, so the blue one's probably going to look a little weird. Okay, but the blue one, these what they say on them, they have our website, thepcwa.org, and our catchphrase or tagline is honor and remembrance. It says that
I like
on there.
it. Let me say it again.
I'll show you the gray one. See thepcwa.org.
Can't you just enter me to win the musket?
You would think you'd want to support your
dear friend. I am supporting you.
Karen doesn't want a bracelet.
I do
What?
want a bracelet.
Karen
She wants a bracelet.
I know she wants a bracelet. She wants.
So you and Brianna will be there, Brian? Good.
She likes to support Gettysburg.
I know a Brian Walters. It spells his name differently though. He's very much into World War II and aviation.
So I'm looking forward to this.
Super excited.
I'm really excited because, like I said, the reenactments is what brought me to Gettysburg to begin with. My mom wanted to go to the reenactments, and I was like, "Oh God, it sounded horrific," you know. But I went with her and fell in love fell in love instantly. And the reenactments I went to every year until they stopped doing them, and then I was so upset because that's something I look forward to every year.
Well, I mean, there is another event that takes place in Gettysburg.
No, but it's not the reenactments. Not the reenactments I love.
And I feel exactly the same way without going into a whole lot of details.
You've already told me. I know. That's why I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am. We can talk about that offline all day.
Do you have a link with the info? I did share it earlier. Just I'm
sharing. Just create a banner up here real quick. Just put a banner down there.
Okay.
So go on to the side over there, and where under brand it should have banners.
Hold on, I gotta copy the link. Don't I?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Mo,
Wait, this?
Something is not right.
Is it doing it?
No, it's not.
Hold on.
About to have some technical difficulties.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, that just is the group.
That's the group page. So so what you want to do is on the side, that side over here, it says banners or
Yeah.
under, I think it's under brand. You're going to click banner and then right in there, just thepcwa.org.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's your link. That'll get you all the information you need. But the group page, go to Facebook because I have multitudes of videos and stuff over there. So it's thepcwa.org.
Oh my gosh, hold on a second.
Also, so you're going to want to go to the PCWA's 160th Battle of Gettysburg reenactment group page. There you go. Gretchen threw it up there. And yeah. If you put a picture up, I can snap it and add it to Google, and then I can get the information. I could hold a poster up, and you can get the QR code off of it. Of course, I don't have a poster handy to do that.
Well, it's up there. So.
Thank you. There, scan the QR code. Scan it. Hit that pause button if you're watching this on replay and scan the QR code.
Screenshot.
Oh, look at that. Like, whoa. Like,
Why is there so many?
Because it's an infinite tunnel of us.
Why? I don't know. Whatever I did earlier is what I did.
You clicked the wrong tab.
Share screen.
Share screen. Yes, that's what it is, Brian. You're mirroring it. Yep. There you go. That's the group page. I designed that header myself. Thank you. Took a lot of work. It's beautiful. Scott Fink designed that logo on the left here, the Patriots of the Civil War Association logo. Did an awesome job. A gentleman named Mike. I would say his last name, but I forget it. A couple of years ago, designed the Acts of Valor for us. He did an awesome job with that. It's beautiful. I love our Acts of Valor. Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I will be working it. I'm excited about it. And I can't wait. And it's June 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Correct?
That is correct. Gates open at 8 a.m. all 3 days. You have to check the schedule. The camps close to spectators at different times throughout the weekend. And camps are open to spectators as well as Cav Camp across the street. So once you get in, you will be able to be escorted back over across the street to the Cav camps. So you'll be able to interact with your Ohio Cav and the horses and stuff like that over there. You can go do those things.
Yay. Okay, so I'll need another break to do that.
Okay. So in other words, you'll be working for like 2 hours and the rest of the time you're just going to kick it.
No,
and you still get a free event staff t-shirt.
Listen, I just need breaks. I need breaks to go to church. I need breaks to go shopping. And then I need breaks to go see the horses now.
Yep. I'll make sure you have some backup. I think you'll be fine. You'll have plenty of time to go see some things.
Yeah.
Brian says no horsing around. And a break to go to the beer garden?
No one ever. Huh?
I said no one ever?
So, all right. We'll end it here. What's Ron saying? Yeah. Go to beer garden and break to go to beer garden. Yes. Yes, we will do that.
After the event. I mean, look, it closes at 7 o'clock, so you can leave. It's plenty of time. There's still gonna be like 2 hours of daylight. You know what I mean? That
Gettysburg
you'll be.
closes at 7.
What does?
Gettysburg.
Nah, that's I think they'd be foolish if anybody who's watching this, it's a business in Gettysburg. If you are foolish enough to close your doors early during that weekend, you're batshit crazy because
Yeah.
people are going to be getting out. They're going to be hungry, because they stood in line for 2 hours trying to get pit beef sandwich. No, I'm just kidding. I think Candace is going to do a great job. Candace is going to do a great job.
I'm sure it's going to be
a great
good.
job.
I'm sure that there'll be some learning experiences, but I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go great. I mean, you're passionate, you're dedicated, you're motivated, and you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not just doing it for money. You're doing it to preserve history. You're doing it with in mind the people that own the land. So there's a lot of care and love going into it, and the people that are helping you do that, build the fences and build the bridges and build and put the landscape together, to make it as realistic as possible.
I mean, we built the Chambersburg Pike. We built the Chambersburg Pike. We put snake rail with the Virginia worm fence or snake rail fence up and post and rail fence. We're building a stone wall. We've built these beautiful bridges for people to get across the creek so spectators can walk with the battle as it's moving up the hillside. They can go with it. I mean, cool. we have thought about
I'm gonna miss everything.
I mean, yeah, but you did volunteer, so you're stuck.
Fucking volunteer.
Damn it.
I like this. I've been waiting for this for how many years? And I'm like, oh, I'll help. And now you're talking about all this cool shit that's going to be going on, and I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
How do you think I feel? I used to reenact in these things all the time, and I'm going to be running around
doing stuff.
I orchestrated this thing, but I won't be able to reenact in it.
No, but when you were reenacting, you were able to stop. You were stop reenacting. You could go run amok around and check things out.
Well, this is I really enjoy this side of it.
Yeah.
I've been planning events since 2001. My first event was the Battle of Maytown, which is not something that ever happened, but it was within a couple of miles of the burning of the Susquehanna Bridge, which was part of the Gettysburg campaign. Federal troops burned the bridge, the covered bridge that was spanning the Susquehanna River, and turned General Gordon and his Confederates back towards Gettysburg, which they were probably heading back that way anyway, because Gettysburg was about to go down.
And Gettysburg is like only the coolest place on the planet.
Yeah, but Wrightsville's actually a cool place, believe it or not. I'm just saying, it's cool.
Not as cool as
Gettysburg. Civil War history.
There's nowhere as cool as Gettysburg.
No, it's true. Well, I've been to a lot of battlefields. I mean, me and my buddy Lee, we got boots on the ground at so many different battlefields. I mean, Shiloh is a really cool battlefield. And as Taryn's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this interview. I'm so tired. Can we just be done? This is a girl who stays up all night partying at Paracons.
No, you know what? I had acupuncture for the first time today.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm never tired.
So he just took it out of you, huh?
But it made me tired.
He stuck you good, huh?
He said it was going to make me tired. It was my boss. Gross.
Oh, well, I'm just saying. You got stuck really good. Am I wrong?
But yes, Dustin.
Taryn.
I'm looking forward to being a part of the event.
I'm looking forward.
Hope I get lots of breaks.
You'll have plenty of time.
Because I want to see stuff too.
I'm dying over here. I'm just trying to keep it together.
I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Absolutely.
You and your group of people that have been, with you from the beginning. And, I've been a sideline cheerleader for sure, and like offering to help, but you guys have been really like getting dirty and out there and
sweaty
and all kinds of stuff that I'm not a part of. That I
literally had to wade through that creek.
all day long.
And goats.
Baby sheep, baby goats. I'll do that all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I've had to do some degrading, nasty things to get this thing done.
man, I can't wait. Good luck.
Well,
And
I'm excited to have you, and I am super, super happy to be here. I love you. I love Paranormal Brew and everything you're doing. You're killing it over here too, by the way. Don't think people don't notice, because we do. You're
thank
killing
you.
it, and I wish you all the best success in the world. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's the thing. Like, that's why I'm having you on, because Paranormal Brew, like I said, Paranormal Brew is going to be there. I want to promote Paranormal Brew as much as possible. So, I'm going to be not on the paranormal side of it, but Paranormal Brew will be there helping, volunteering, and giving back to my most favoriteest place in the universe. You know what I mean? So, I'm happy to be part of it and help out. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I hope people come. I hope a lot of if you build it, they will come.
Well, I've built it. Now it's just a matter of people showing the hell up.
Well,
Oh, by the way, if it does, we're not going to say the R word, but if we have the R stuff happen, all right, the date, there is a rain. The R date is, I think it's August 27th. The last weekend in August is our makeup date.
well, hopefully that won't happen.
My mother says, "You are so tired." Do I look that tired?
Do I look that tired?
My mom texted me here, said I look tired. So,
I
I
hope
am tired.
I hope there's no rain, because I mean, I really think you should do it on the reenactment, on the actual.
Okay, so let me talk about that for 1 second, because people bring that up to me a lot. Why aren't I doing this? Why, Dustin, are there 2 reenactments? Why are you not doing it over the anniversary? I didn't choose the anniversary weekend because I didn't want to step on toes. This other organization already had theirs scheduled. And I didn't want to step on toes. I was trying to be polite. I wasn't, the kindness was not reciprocated. Now, I will say this: a former member of that board reached out to me and told me the other day that when they found out that I was actually hosting another event, most of the board from the other event was actually excited about it, having something different, and they wanted to help us succeed, which is what my thought process was. I want Gettysburg to succeed, either not just from my event, but from the other one, because it's a long drawn out, Gettysburg anniversary celebration, so to
Right.
speak. Okay. It didn't go that way. And certain other members of that board shot it down and started a kind of like a poo-poo campaign
No,
against us.
drama in the reenacting world too,
Oh
right?
my God. You have
Just like
no
in the
idea.
paranormal, politics and drama and cutthroats and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yes. Your throat will get cut quick
That's
in
interesting.
this. Just so you know, I got to go. Battery's
Yep.
about to die. For some reason, my computer came unplugged and I can't find where the power cord is.
Okay. All right, Dustin, thank you for coming on. I hope everybody goes and buys tickets, come out and see everything. It sounds like it's going to be exciting. Sounds like it's going to be kid-friendly. So if you have family,
Oh, definitely.
something to do, bring them out and show them how awesome this is. They'll love it.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely.
And good night. Thank you, Dustin, for coming on. Tell Monica hi and thank her for allowing you to be on my show for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Representing.
Represent. Let's go. PCWA.org. See you guys next time. Take care. Thank you, Taryn. I love you.
Dustin. Love you too.
All right. Ciao.
Well, that was good. I know that was a little different, a different type of a show for the brew, but it is Gettysburg related. So I will always welcome any type of Gettysburg talk, whether it's paranormal, whether it's whatever it is. So I want to try to get a ranger to come on and just talk about Gettysburg and stuff. So I'm in the works of trying to do that. But anyway, that's it. It's a wrap. I am very tired. I did have acupuncture today for the first time, and he said that it was going to make me tired, and I am happy about that. So, everyone, this Friday, I will I am doing an investigation at Ridgewood Winery in Birdsboro, PA. I believe it's Birdsboro. But Ridgewood Winery, it's a very old winery. I will go live from there a couple of times and take lots of pictures. But after Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I am shutting the internets down, shutting the phone off, and I will be unreachable for 3 days because I need a break. I need a recharge. And I need to, I just need to detach for a minute. But anyway, join me next week for another Paranormal Brew. And I will be seeing you guys soon. Love y'all.